Beer with many imitators, but certainly no equal. Enjoy the power of more. Drink responsibly.
We move on to sports now. Here's Ayotunde Balogun. Ayo.
That's right. These are the world of sports news. Well, the IAAF Championships in Moscow will take off this weekend and is set to be the biggest ever for this year. With the deadline for the final entries now closed, no fewer than 206 IAAF member federations, including Nigeria, have now confirmed their participation. Now, the previous highest number of nations present at the IAAF World Championships was 200 at both Seville in 1999 and in Berlin in 2009. And with a total of 1,974 athletes having been entered, the record of participants is also on course to be broken, as the previously most attended championships in terms of athletes was Berlin in 2009 with 1,895 athletes. France's European pole vault champion Renaud Lavillenie said he feels confident and ready for the World Championships, which starts in Moscow on August the 10th. Lavillenie, who also holds the World and European Indoor Championship titles, had been a favorite for gold in the Russian capital. Well, the championships will last until August the 18th. Now, the International Olympic Committee has asked Russia to explain how its new law on gay propaganda might affect next year's Winter Games. The IOC President Jacques Rogge said in Moscow that Russia's written reassurances over the Winter Olympics needed some clarification. Now, gay rights campaigners have called for the Games to be moved to another country in protest at the law. Now, the law passed in June prescribes heavy fines for anyone providing information about homosexuality to people under 18. That's it on Sports News. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
Beer with many imitators, but certainly no equal. Enjoy the power of more. Drink responsibly.
Over now to the foreign scene, where history is repeating itself in Zimbabwe as the opposition is asking a court to nullify the results of the recently concluded elections. Here's Temitope Fagwimi with the rest of the story.
Zimbabwe's movement for democratic change has filed a legal challenge to President Robert Mugabe's victory in last week's presidential elections. The electoral petition seeks an order for the results to be declared null and void and a new election to be called within 60 days. The MDC's grounds include alleged bribery, assisted voting, and manipulation of the electoral roll. Still in Africa, an Ethiopian military cargo plane has crashed and caught fire on landing at Mogadishu Airport in Somalia. 4 of the 6 crew members on board the aircraft were killed. They were carrying equipment for international forces fighting Islamist militants. Meanwhile, 2 pilots working for Turkish Airlines have been kidnapped in Lebanon near Beirut's international airport. The men were abducted from a bus which was carrying several other crew members and passengers between a hotel and the airport terminal. In Pakistan, at least 9 people were killed when gunmen opened fire outside a mosque in the second attack in Quetta in as many days. About 20 others were wounded in the attack, which came as worshippers left the Sunni Muslim mosque after sunrise prayers for the Eid al-Fitr festival. Finally, whistleblower Edward Snowden is still causing controversy as 2 encoded email services have shut down for reasons linked to the U.S. intelligence leaker. And that's a summary of what's happening on the foreign scene.
Thank you, Temitope. And on entertainment news tonight, multiple award-winning movie director Kunle Afolayan is hopeful about his new movie. Here's Victoria Ido.
Tonight, veteran pop musician Mike Oakley, set to follow in the steps of Dr. Victor Olaiya, has a 6th renewed relevance in Nigerian mainstream music industry. Taking on the same team who worked on Olaiya's Baby Muda remix with Two-Face, The rave singer of the late 80s has released a remake version of his classic track Omoge, now featuring songstress Omaon.
People have been asking me as well, we've been waiting for you guys to come back. We know for a second that we can't go back to where we're coming from, or remain there. We just have to be able to come into the circle of play and be able to mingle, but mingle with reason. That's what we're trying to do.
And multiple award-winning actor, movie producer and director Kunle Afolayan has revealed the details of his next big-budget flick titled October 1. The phone swap producer reveals the name of the recruited bigwigs on the $2 million project, which is commenced shooting.
It's a project that I'm very passionate about, and I believe strongly that it's going to change the perception, of the foreign, the international film circle about Nigeria cinema and Africa cinema as a whole.
And music hopefuls and fashion enthusiasts once again gathered at the Best of Both Worlds hosted by Arike in Lagos recently, while upcomers had the opportunity to show their craft in music and dancing. Fashion heads got free tips on how to keep it savvy and trendy.
It's not really about where we're going. It's more about supporting the upcoming artists and fashion designers who have no platform to start from. So for me, we're in Lagos now. I hope and pray that before we know it, we'll be in all the states in Nigeria.
And on the foreign scene, Sylvester Stallone has taken a swing at his expendable co-star Bruce Willis. Stallone tweeted that Willis was out of the third installment of The Expendables and that Harrison Ford is now in. He then followed the news up with a tweet calling out Willis as lazy and greedy. The die-hard star, who also commands top dollars in Hollywood, appears in the first two Expendables. And that's all for tonight. The News at 10 continues shortly.
Well, thank you, Victoria. And the main news again. Two former heads of state, Generals Ibrahim Babangida and Abdul Salami Abubakar, have commiserated with Governor Fashola over the death of his father. A teenager has drowned at the Bar Beach here in Lagos less than 24 hours after NEMA's warning on an ocean surge. Members of the public have again been advised against swimming deep into the waters as there are signs of turbulence and an ocean surge. And the police have stepped up surveillance